Alright guys, welcome to episode 2 of me reviewing your theories. Remember, if you want a chance to get your theory in one of these videos, then make sure to leave a comment with it in it. Now, without further ado, let's get into the theories for today. First up, from Anon2137, is there a possibility to feel sexually attracted to real ships after playing Azure Lane for a significant amount of time? You see, I'm not entirely certain that this theory even needed to be asked. I'm sure that we have all experienced this phenomenon firsthand, so I can say with full confidence that yes, in fact, you will find ships sexually attractive after looking at some of those waifus. In fact, I can barely even control myself whenever I go to a harbor, shoreline, or beach because I'm constantly blushing at the sight of all of those ships, and I'm sure that many of you can agree that this is a universal experience. This next theory comes from Fluffy Yutranis. Theory: we know humans fucking their stand is impossible, but what about fucking someone by fucking his stand with your stand? Well, you see here, Fluffy, I think that you are actually completely correct here. Based on what we've seen in JoJo, the actions that get done to somebody's stand by another stand also get done to the person. And so, there is nothing logically wrong with what has been said here. It would indeed appear that you would be able to engage in sexual intercourse with someone if both of your stands also engaged in sexual intercourse. If only JoJo would include scenes like this. This next theory is coming from Skriller. Theory: Shinobu Oshino is best girl. Now you see, I'm not entirely certain that I am able to prove this theory correct, even if it is correct. Now, Shinobu may be several hundred years older than she looks, but frankly, I'm not willing to risk it with the FBI, so I don't know guys, I'm not gonna choose one way or the other, but I'll just leave it at a maybe. Next up, from Kid Obesity, is it possible to have sexual intercourse with a lamia and a mermaid? Well, based on Monster Musume, it should be possible to do both. However, doing both at the same time is an entirely different question. By my calculations, you would have to have a dual PP setup in order to accomplish this. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I just checked in order to make sure, and I unfortunately only have the one PP. Now, it may be possible to get another PP, however, frankly, it would be prohibitively expensive and out of reach of most people. So, Kid Obesity, unless you are one of the richest people on Earth in order to get a dual PP procedure, then I'm unfortunately going to have to tell you that this theory is not possible. This one is coming from Sean Francisco. Would having an anime profile picture increase your internet privacy? Now, this one is going to be a pretty simple yes. However, you would also have to be certain to take other privacy measures as well. Including your real face as your profile picture is, in fact, a bad idea in the modern day and age, especially with the rise of facial recognition software. If it's not possible already, it will soon be extremely possible for governments to connect what you say online to your actual face and your identity. This has the potential to be catastrophic for free speech, especially in countries where the populations are oppressed by their governments. However, we could easily solve this issue by everyone adopting anime profile pictures and Xbox Live gamertag style usernames. So, overall, yes, having an anime profile picture would, in fact, increase your internet privacy. This next one comes from TB Nick. How many cat girls could Goku destroy by shooting a Kamehameha wave out of his peepee? Well, based on the information that you have given me here, I'm going to assume that a Kamehameha wave that comes out of his peepee would be the same as a Kamehameha wave that comes out of his hands. So, I do not believe that the peepee in this situation is actually an important question to ask at all. A better question would have been, how many cat girls can Goku destroy with a Kamehameha wave? However, that's not the question I have to answer. So, I'm gonna take the easy way out and just say that he can destroy the same amount of cat girls as he would with a normal Kamehameha wave. I'm sorry, sir, but you appear to have been owned. owned. Now, from X-Site Gaming Theory, is Elon Musk himself secretly a cat girl? For as much as I wish that this was true, frankly, nothing about this actually checks out. Elon Musk is known for being a businessman, and thus he will go to any lengths to monetize everything that he can and make the most money. Guaranteed, he could sell more products if he was a cat girl, he could sell himself as a cat girl, and overall, he would gain so much recognition worldwide for being a cat girl that he could probably make all of his businesses #1 in the world. And considering the fact that he hasn't done this and hasn't taken advantage of his status as a cat girl to make more money, I think it's pretty safe to assume that he just isn't. However, this is a reality that I wish I didn't have to accept. Now from M. Sorry. Suggestion. How statistically unlikely is the amount of hot girls tripping onto a guy in a sexual way in anime? Well, in all of my years of living, this has never once happened to me. And in fact, I've never once seen it happen to anyone else either, especially not in high school where it's portrayed to happen so often. That's not to say that it is impossible to happen. Certainly, the physics in most situations like this does actually check out. However, most falls on top of another person tend to end up just being painful and, not actually sexy. So I'm going to estimate that maybe about 1% to under 1% of all falls involving a boy and a girl would end up in a way like this. This one comes from Change Bunny. Hey Animeniaks, should people who play GTA under the age of 18 go to jail? Well, Mr. Change Bunny, I'm not sure if you noticed, but this is in fact supposed to be an anime channel. However, since you asked, I will answer. The age rating on the boxes of video games is in fact mainly a suggestion, and the only trouble that you would get in for attempting to buy GTA while under the age of 18 is just that they wouldn't sell it to you. That's all. However, the question was a should question and not a could question. And well, I don't really see why we need to be sending people to jail for wanting to play a video game, so I am going to say no. People should not go to jail for attempting to play GTA under the age of 18. Very controversial opinion, I know, guys. This theory is coming from The Shelder and Slow Bro's Tale. Day 7 of asking for, does watching hentai makes you a cuck? Now, in order to figure out whether watching hentai makes you a cuck, we first have to understand how this logic makes any sense at all. You see, getting cucked is when someone else is engaging in sexual intercourse with your significant other. Seeing as hentai involves completely fictional characters, I don't fully see how this is possible, unless your waifu just so happens to be a hentai character, in which case, I suppose that you would be getting cucked, although you're going to be getting cucked anyway, because you could never be with her in real life. We've got one coming from Angel Arauz. Do anime girls with big eyes have a bigger field of vision than normal people? Now, as it turns out, the answer to this question is yes. The main thing that affects field of view is the size of your retina. Since anime girls have significantly larger eyes than everyone else, it is safe to assume that their retinas are also bigger than everyone else's as well. However, there is one instance wherein this theory is actually not true, and that is if you believe that anime girls don't actually look like how they are in anime in real life. Ultimately, the anime art style is just meant to be a way to represent the real world, and it could certainly be argued that anime girls, if they were real, would in fact actually just look like normal girls, in which case their field of view would be the same as anyone else's. However, that is frankly not the kind of reality that I want to live in, so I am going to say that their field of view would in fact be bigger than everyone else's. This one is coming in from John Lee. How much massive does an anime woman's opie need to be before she collapses, thus immobilizing herself due to Earth's gravitational pull on their opie? Well, John Lee, that is certainly a roundabout way of simply asking how much an anime girl's breasts would have to weigh before they weigh too much. However, semantics like that are ultimately unimportant. According to my research, a woman that weighs roughly around 90 to 100 pounds and is completely untrained can be expected to lift around 50 pounds without too much trouble. However, not all women are the same. People are built differently, and many women have actual training in weightlifting, which would allow them to lift more weight. It's because of these variables that this is actually a fairly difficult theory to answer definitively. Thus, it would be most accurate to give a range of weights rather than to give one weight and claim that it is applicable for all. So, I am going to say that once someone's breasts weigh about 40 pounds and up, that is when we can expect people to have issues with standing up, with it varying depending on the anime girl in question. However, with some of these badonkadonks that we see in anime, and the girls are still walking as if they have no problems, it does make me wonder whether physics in the anime world are even close to what we have in the real world. That's going to be the last theory for today. Remember to put your theories in the comments, and I'll pick out the ones that I think are the most interesting. That's all. Goodbye.